I am Michael Murray. I am an anesthesiologist, a professor of anesthesiology at the Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona, and currently I'm on active duty with the U.S. Army at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas. I came out of medical school and I started an internship in internal medicine. Then I did 2 years with the Indian Health Service. Went back into my internal medicine residency, and what I found I enjoyed doing most was intensive care medicine. So when I finished my medicine residency, I was a practicing general internist, but was asked to do a critical care fellowship. Went back to the Mayo Clinic to do a critical care fellowship, and as part of that spent time in the operating rooms, and I thought I was very good at managing the patient's airway, but that was a whole new experience to me and I enjoyed it so much. I then did another residency in anesthesia and I stayed on the staff at Mayo Clinic ever since, and I've worked at all 3 Mayo Clinics, which is not necessarily a good thing. Ron Faust was the program director at Mayo when I was a resident, and he realized that there was a need for a board review course, in the sense that most of the textbooks are organized by organ system, problems within those organ systems, and they tend to be pretty deep. If you're an insomniac, they can put you to sleep. They're fantastic science, and you need to know all that to be a practicing anesthesiologist. However, when it comes time to review the board, assuming that you've gone through all that information during your training, you needed concise reviews of each of those areas. And so he wrote a textbook, or edited a textbook, with colleagues at the Mayo Clinic, and they were short, less than 1,500 words, ended up with approximately 260 chapters, and it was so well received that 2 more editions were published. But then Dr. Faust retired, and the book probably would have died, but several people contacted colleagues at Mayo and asked if there would be an interest in finding someone at Mayo who would take over Dr. Faust's role, and I was contacted. I like to write, and so the rest is history. And so we're now doing a 4th edition of Faust's Anesthesia Review. What has caught my attention is that every generation learns different ways, and for the millennial generation, they're used to going on the internet and finding out for themselves what's true, what's not true. And rather than just accept a quote-quote expert's word, they'll search for themselves. At the same time, they still like to read a textbook. It's hard to go on the internet and figure out what you need to review. On the airway, what is it? And so for this, we've taken that out, spent a lot of time going through everything to make sure everything is as accurate as can be. And all authors will tell you that. But with my co-editors, we have gone through every chapter with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything is as up-to-date as it can be, and it's written in a common style. A lot of the textbooks, chapter to chapter, are so different that you think you're going to a chapter to find something similar, and it's not. We limit everything to 1,500 words. I go through every chapter with a fine-tooth comb to make sure all the language, the formatting is the same. Not just the layout of the chapter. I know that the publisher does the formatting, but the layout is the same, so when you get to a chapter, you know how things are going to flow and you know how to search through it quickly.